Whatever kind of night you're having, start it off right with Drizzly, the go-to app for drink delivery. Whether you're mixing up a bullet bourbon old-fashioned for a cozy night in, or Kettle One Bloody Mary bar for a birthday brunch, you can get the perfect beer, wine, and spirits for any occasion delivered with Drizzly. So,
what's it gonna be?
Download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com to choose your drinks today. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
We can stop HIV, Iowa.
A person living with and being treated for HIV can take 1 pill a day to protect their own health and prevent HIV from passing to sexual partners.
We call it U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmittable.
Visit StopHIVIowa.org.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Free Terrible Gamers. Colin, along with Ashton as always.
Hey guys, this is episode 41.
Yeah, 41 take 2 because we
Take
had
2.
some technical difficulties with the first time trying to record this.
Yep.
So, here, of course, if you're listening later on and not live, then, you know, it's not going to affect you either way, except for we got some backup topics just in case we go through these ones a little bit quicker because we got about halfway through last time and realized that Ashton sounded like Optimus Prime.
Or a demon.
So, or a demon, whichever one you prefer. Or if they had a baby, that's what they would sound like.
Yeah.
So, we're going to go on a repeat, but like I said, we got some extra topics if we happen to run through, which we still shouldn't. There is enough, and we can still talk about it how we talked about before. But just a quick disclaimer that we have already talked about half of these coming into it.
Yep.
But without any further ado, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will be able to claim 2 new games this month.
Yeah, so it says Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will be able to claim Audios from June 1st to June 30th and The Veil Shadow of the Crown from June 16th to July 15th. It says once claimed, subscribers will be able to keep these Xbox games with gold titles at no additional charge. And I also got the Game Pass games for this month as well. June 1st, you'll be able to get Car Mechanic Simulator 2021, Slayer's X Terminal Aftermath, Vengeance of the Slayer, and The Big Con. Like I said, all on June 1st, console, PC, cloud. On June 6th, you'll get Amnesia The Bunker. June 8th, you'll get Rune Factory 4 Special. And June 8th, you'll also get Stacking. Rune Factory is console, PC, cloud. Stacking is only console and cloud. June 13th, you'll get Thordogen, whatever that is, on console, PC, and cloud. So none of these games, including the first 2 I talked about, would be enough to get me to buy Game Pass or Xbox Live Gold at that point to just to play these games. I've never heard of any of these. So, you know, if these are hidden gems, I'm sorry. I'm disrespecting your games that you love. But, yeah, none of these I've never heard of and would entice me to get Game Pass.
Technically, if we want to get super picky about it, we could always go on there and get, like, the Metacritics from all of them, because I know Metacritic isn't always 100% correct, but, you know, OpenCritic would be more on it, but, you know, OpenCritic doesn't comment on every single game.
Right.
But yeah, the Car Mechanic is one of those games where, like I said, out of all those games, that would probably be the one that would draw me to it, but I still wouldn't drop it for it. So, like I said, it's just out of all those games, that would be the one come closest to getting me to join Ultimate.
Right, because you said you've played Goat Simulator before, and I know Ryland's played Goat Simulator, Farming Simulator. There's a bunch of different simulators out there, not just those 3. And they seem to be really popular.
Yeah. people choose all kinds of different simulator games. Like I said, there's power washer ones. There's
Yeah.
shoot, even like lawn-mowing ones. So pretty much anything that you can do in real life, there's a simulator for.
Yeah, which is kind of a weird concept to make a game for, but if people buy it and people play it, then I guess do whatever you want.
I mean, to my personal opinion on it, it's more or less like The Sims is even pushing it. Like, I think everything, I mean, The Sims is pretty much what started that trend way back when, what, 2000, the
Early
early 2000s,
2000s.
late 90s, when the first one came out.
Yeah, because I believe it was Sims 2 that came out in the GameCube and PlayStation 2 era. So it'd been, way early 2000s or late 90s when the first one came out.
Yeah. And that was, a quote unquote life simulation, or you could choose what happened in that life. So, like I said, those games pretty much started back then, and Sims has pretty much laid out the path, and then everything else is just branched off from it.
Right.
Granted,
Yes.
out of all of them, Sims has the most background of what to do or wide variety of stuff to do, opposed to just being straightforward. And like I said, especially in the car mechanic one, since it's the one that's available, is pretty much being a mechanic without doing any of the work.
Yeah, it's just odd. I've never been a big fan of Sims either. Summer loves Sims. She has Sims 4 on her Mac, my Xbox. She bought it 2 or 3 times, but I'm just not a fan of it. I don't like games like that. I want a game that actually has a point to it, not just a time waster, really.
Summer's open credit score will be 100% for that game.
Probably. Mine would be easier. 0 out of 10.
Even it out to make it a 50.
Yeah, which is still bad, but better.
Eh,
Well, it's still a little bit worse than Redfall, but
as you say, it's not much worse because
no,
what
not
it's sitting at a
really.
56 right now.
Yeah, awful.
I think it's a 56 for the Xbox, and I think the PC is like at a 53.
Either way, it's not a good game.
Yeah. And we'll hop on to the next one. It's not about Redfall yet. It is coming up, but not right now.
Right.
But Epic has released its first free game of June, which is going to be a continuous thing, I guess, throughout the summer, it seems like.
Yeah, I
Like
believe
once per
so.
week.
Yeah, 1 a week, I believe, is what their plan is. Whether they stick to that plan, Epic's been known to, not stick to their plans, but we'll see. But yeah, it says Epic Games revealed this week's free game will be Midnight Ghost Hunt from Vaulted Sky Games, and it says it's an asymmetrical multiplayer game about ghosts and humans hunting one another, and you can now download it for free from June 1st until next week. So we talked about, before we messed up the recording the first time, but we thought that it was similar to Dead by Daylight, and then I brought up the game mode on Black Ops 2 Zombies that neither one of us could think of, and we looked it up, and it was Grief, where you're the zombie and you're hunting the person, and while they're also hunting you, which is a pretty cool concept that hasn't really been touched on since. A little bit with Infected, but technically the same, but not the same concept.
Yeah. Which I was thinking, uh, Infected, that's the multiplayer mode on.
It,
Yeah, well, I don't even think it was on Ghost because I was thinking of the aliens was Infected, but
it,
no,
it
that's not
was on
Infected. The
Ghosts.
Infected was. It was on
It
Ghost?
was.
Okay.
It was introduced on Ghosts.
That's when you go through and if you're infected, you have like a knife or whatever, then
Yep.
you give one to infect other people in multiplayer.
Which, if I'm not
Okay, yeah,
mistaken,
then
on Grief you just use like you scratched them or whatever. You didn't have like an actual weapon, the best I can remember.
yeah, he was a zombie, then yeah, you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
scratched him and how zombies would kill you in a normal zombie mode.
Right, right. Yeah, it's a good concept. I love that mode grief, but basically it's infected just with more people because you could play with a max of 4 on grief, I believe. While infected, you can play with the
And in fact,
full lobby, like 8 or whatever it is, people.
I think there was more. I think they made that mode like more. I think you could have like 24 people in a
It
lobby.
it might have been. I know a lot of modes online back then were 8, but it could have been more than that for ghosts.
Yeah, 'cause they treated it kind of like how Prop Hunt is now. Like you can have a big party on it.
Yeah, yeah.
It pretty much was the foundation for having bigger parties than especially Call of Duty games because before then it was your standard 5-on-5 or a multiplayer match, or was it 6-on-6? One of those two.
Yeah. I did play a whole lot of
I
Infected
think
on Ghosts though. Like that's one of the main modes I played on Ghosts besides just Team Deathmatch.
yeah. But yeah, thinking back on hindsight now, since yeah, and like you said, we've already discussed this once, but the fact that it's humans versus ghosts, it could kind of be like a Ghostbuster situation as well,
Yeah, it could.
like a Ghostbuster.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I've never heard of this game. I don't even know what it looks like. So, just from the sounds of the story and everything, it sounds like a Dead by Daylight, a Grief, or maybe, like you said, maybe a Ghostbusters. Maybe have to look into it and see what it's actually like, or it may not be like any of those. It might just be its own random thing, has its own ideas.
But it's free, so it don't make a difference. You
Right.
can,
Yeah, just go
if you don't
download it.
like it, you're just out download time basically.
Yeah, yeah, just go download it to your PC. I'm assuming PC is the only way to download it from Epic on the free online because I don't know if it's available for Xbox or PlayStation. I'm not sure. I know definitely be available for PC if you have the Epic Game Stores downloaded.
Or if it's like a Fortnite situation, you can download it on your phone potentially.
Maybe, maybe.
But time will tell. Like I said, we're terrible gamer podcasters, so don't have that tidbit of information for you.
Nope. Figure it out yourself. We'll just let you know what's free. You go figure out how to download it yourself.
Even after a second attempt, we still can't tell you what it is.
No, we didn't do any more research. We just, doing a second take.
Uh, Nintendo Live 2023 will have amiibo tournaments, a Zelda concert, and more.
Yeah, so it says here the latest Nintendo Live event will have a Zelda themed musical concert and an amiibo fighting tournament among its planned festivities. Last October saw the return of Nintendo's live gaming event following a 3-year hiatus with competitive tournaments for titles like Splatoon 3 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a live concert featuring music from Animal Crossing, and even an exploration into the history of Pokemon. During the 4-day showcase this year, players will get to sample the hit Nintendo games like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land. There will also be live music with concert performances featuring tracks from Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda. Lastly, fans will get to take photos with mascot versions of Mario and friends and relax in an Animal Crossing themed getaway. So you'll get to have like a Animal Crossing vacation. So it'd be pretty cool. Um, I was right, saying Pikmin 4 would be there. I figured it would because it should release around that time. Tears of the Kingdom, of course, will be there. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a remake of a Wii game that released in February, early February. So if nobody's played it, it'll be there. But like we said in a couple podcast episodes before, you can't just buy a ticket. It's part of the raffle, so which is kind of a stupid thing. But if you're lucky enough to be selected, good for you.
Yeah, have fun out in Seattle because I'm definitely not even going to put in for the raffle
No,
at all
I'm not
myself.
going
But
to the West Coast just for that.
yeah, no, it's too far. I got the East Coast right on the. Well, I'm not even going to say right on the beach, but yeah, I'm on the
Close
East
enough.
Coast. I'm going to stay over here. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I was yet again. This is a topic we got to before. So the Zelda concert having a cross on, like since they're going to have Mario with it too. Like I mentioned before, having the Zelda main theme and then the Mario main theme like kick in and coincide with each other.
Right.
Like they cross reference each one in each. I'm going to call it more probably a symphony because they don't really do singing in any of those games.
Right. It's more music, just music.
It's going to be more of a that or orchestra type of situation opposed to a true concert, which I know people. I'm an uncultured swine, so for me, it's basically it's not a concert unless there's live singing and everything else. It's pretty much just music playing
Yeah.
going to be on it. Which I mean, they could go in there, and they could add music, lyrics to the song. It wouldn't be that hard, but it's just one of those things. If they was to cross each other on it, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, like I said before, like if they started off with the Zelda theme and then faded out and do the Mario theme and then just back and forth, and then just combine them together and somehow get them to sync with each other, that'd be really awesome. And I'd love to hear that. There's got to be somewhere online with that happening, and that'd be really cool to hear. Um, and also we talked about before was the Amiibo fighting tournament. I don't know if you can just take your amiibo and you just scan it in, whatever it is, and they fight, or if it's like the Smash Ultimate or just Smash in general, starting with the Smash 4 on Wii U and 3DS, you just scan it in and you can level it up and then fight with whatever level. So maybe you can bring in whatever level it is and it'll scan in at whatever level, highest level, mid level, whatever, or if it's just going to be a base level and they fight. I don't know. But either way, it's cool to have a amiibo fighting tournament. That's just something that I never thought that they would do. I mean, obviously we thought Splatoon 3 tournaments, Smash Bros tournament, but not amiibo fighting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is a new concept. It'd be pretty ironic if people took their like amiibo tags opposed to their actual amiibos there to try to do a tournament with.
They take them from them and throw them away, probably. I don't know. I'd say they wouldn't be happy. Nintendo definitely would not be happy with that.
No, it'll probably just be reserved for the actual amiibos themselves.
Who knows? Maybe you don't even bring your own. Maybe they have some already there and you just scan in, you pick whatever character you want and you scan it in and you fight. I don't know. Maybe that's how it'll be instead of bringing your own. Because if you think you bring your own, it may get hectic and you might end up losing your figure. You never know how stuff like that happens.
Another cool thing which they might be doing this, I'm not for sure, didn't really see it in the article, but if the winner was to win or whatever, however they decided how the winners work, there's going to be multiple or whatever, because there could be different brackets based on age groups or anything else, or
Yeah.
even specific characters or games,
Yeah.
and to have like a amiibo that hasn't been released to the public yet, just for winning it.
Yeah. Maybe. Just have to wait and see what they do. But it's definitely interesting to think about and try to predict what they'll do. With being Nintendo, you can't really ever truly predict what they'll do, but it's fun to try.
Ain't that the truth?
That's all you can do is try.
All right. Moving on to the final topic that we had already covered before, uh, but there's still a few more after this one. News breaks that Redfall developers wanted Microsoft to cancel the game before it, well, in general.
Yeah, so the article says Arcane Studios' development of Redfall was reportedly so troubled that its developers hoped Microsoft would cancel the game after acquiring the company in 2020. Bloomberg released a report having spoken to several anonymous sources familiar with Redfall's development after it launched last month to poor reviews and significant technical issues. These sources claimed Redfall struggled with a misguided vision, staffing issues, and more. Things allegedly became so bad at Arcane that despite having put 2 years into Redfall at the time of the Xbox acquisition, Staff wished it would be rebooted as a single-player game or canceled altogether. As I explained before, the development team, even if there are different visions of the game, like the staff wants them to do completely something different, and just take a page out of Nintendo's book, like I used the Link's Awakening example. That was just an after work, you know, craft, I guess. They were just putting it together just for fun, just for them to play, and then they actually just pitched it to Nintendo. It's like, oh yeah, that'd make a really good game on the Game Boy. So, just they could have just done what they wanted. Stay within the guidelines, but definitely do something that they wanted and make it, something interesting, and they know people would want to play, and just pitch it. And the worst they can do is say no, just don't put that in the game, and then there you go, just keep doing what they want. And then I can see Microsoft not wanting to cancel it because they can see, oh, that's a good, first party title for us, just keep it going. I can't see that. I can't see Microsoft keeping it completely confusing and misguiding after the acquisition. And before, probably, yeah, but Microsoft probably came in and said, hey, this is what we want for this game, make it happen. Here's exactly what we want. There's no blurs or anything. Now, the staffing issues, if you're having you have a short development team, then yeah, that can cause issues. But Microsoft purchasing them, they could send somebody from another studio over to help them. That's not a big deal. Microsoft's got tons of studios to help out others, devs. So I don't see that being an issue after the acquisition. But like I said, I can see it from both sides, but it still definitely shouldn't have released in the state that it was in when it released. And it's still in.
And, yeah, and we don't know necessarily if Redfall tried to get Microsoft to come out there, and Microsoft pretty much just said screw off. You started on it before we technically even picked you up, so it's all you. But
Right.
at the end of the day, the game released in a complete and utter mess. I don't think Microsoft would intentionally try to, I think the Redfall developers didn't mention that they needed help as more as what they did, because Microsoft, especially being supposed to be one of the best AAA games of the year.
Yeah.
And Microsoft would have easily been like, yeah, it's supposed to be one of the best games. We're going to make sure that this game's up and running. But like I said, I don't think the Redfall people made the effort to reach out and be like, hey, we need help.
Right. Yeah,
Opposed to
they try to
what
make
they
it seem
were-
like Microsoft already knew that, hey, we're struggling, instead of saying, hey, we're struggling, we need help. It's kind of on them that they didn't come out right out and say after the acquisition. They might have said something before, but if, your new boss at that point doesn't know, then how are they supposed to send you help?
Yeah. Which, I can understand to a point because, yeah, the company obviously wasn't doing that well if another company had to sweep in and buy them out. But being a video game giant, acquiring any type of video game thing that has any type of recognition to it whatsoever is worth picking up.
Right.
So Microsoft was probably they wasn't seeing a company that was in trouble. They was seeing a company that already existed and had a name for themselves.
You already had good games out, so they just expect good games from that company. They shouldn't expect all they need help. They're struggling if they've already put out good games in the past.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I said, I don't think the Redfall people took all the precautions that they needed to take for it, but they're going to blame Microsoft at the end because Microsoft was the one that technically did force them to release it before they wanted to. But at the same time, how much time do you need knowing what was already going down?
Right, exactly.
All right. Now on to the new topics that neither one of us had touched yet. Uh, Fortnite is bringing back trios.
Yeah, so I didn't know they took them away until I done research, but it says Epic Games vaulted Fortnite's Trios mode a couple of weeks ago, But fortunately, the beloved mode has now returned. Fortnite introduced trios during Chapter 2, having taken inspiration from the likes of Apex Legends. It didn't take long for the mode to explode in popularity. It says, as such, many Fortnite fans were devastated 2 weeks ago when Epic just took it away without explanation or warning. They just removed it. But it says they, after, a lot of frustration and anger online, they put it back. So I don't know why they would take it away, because there's some people that have, 4 people quads to run with, but majority people, I'd say 3 is it's a good point, because there's a lot of times you may have 4 people that that you do play with at some point, but most of the time, one of those people are going to be busy. So most of the time you're going to be running with 3. At least, that's the case with us. Most of the time we run with at least. Sometimes we run with the full 4, but most of the time it's 3.
Yeah, there's always that one person that manages to trample down the plans of running the full squads.
Yeah. And it also seems like whenever we do have the full squad, we always end up with 5 because everybody can play. It's either not everybody can play, we have to run 3, or everybody can play and we can't run 5 because no mode has 5. So
yeah, it never fails. It's just meant for us to have odd numbers when we do run.
Right, every single time.
Yeah, it's like I said, and like how you said, I didn't even know that trios had disappeared for a little bit, because it's been a main staple since the beginning. Because you said that was season 1, chapter 2. That wasn't
right.
It was at the beginning pretty much. It was after its initial startup is whenever trios got introduced, and then just for the 2 weeks hiatus, everyone was complaining because just like us, when we do play, it's always just 3 of us that can get them, and you don't want to have that one extra random.
Yeah, because usually random sucks, so you don't want to run with them.
Or the lack of communication is there in
Yeah.
general, but usually the big part is there as well.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, last I played, it's been definitely about a month ago, but it was on there and I didn't know it wasn't, and then it really confused me and surprised me that they took it away without really a reason, because I know it gets. I know there's tons of people that play it, because every time you select trios, you don't wait for a game very long, which means there's plenty of people that play it.
Yeah. All right. We got time for one more.
Let's do
Just because if I do the
last one.
Oh, we're going to switch them around?
Yes. I want to do that last
All
one.
right. The Tears of the Kingdom speedrun community has already begun. And it makes sense to do this last one because the one that's before it is going to be relevant no matter what.
Right.
This one is be an ever-changing thing for pretty much to the end of time now, because someone's always going to try to get better at it.
Yep. So this article I'm going to read from is actually from about 2 o'clock the day of recording, and it's already been beat. So that's how fast these are coming out. But I'll go ahead and read the article first. It says the current record for the fastest Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom speedrun is held by a Japanese player called ZDI. I don't know how to say it, like, the actual word. But anyway, who cleared the game in 59 minutes and 22 seconds. But that's not true anymore. He is actually third now. So first is Sly Zorua. I'm going to say these names wrong. At 57 minutes and 54 seconds. And then Samurai Man, which, if any of you guys that are listening follow Super Mario Sunshine speedruns, you'll recognize this name because he's very high on the speedrun for Super Mario Sunshine. Just a fun fact. But he is second with 58 minutes and 51 seconds. And then the ZDI is now third with 59 minutes and 22 seconds. So it's just changing so fast. Like, that's just in a day. I mean, that's just not even a whole day. It's just in 7 hours. It's changed that much. And it may have, this was from a couple hours ago, so it may have changed even then. So it's changing fast, and it's crazy to see. I mean, that's just any percent. There's no all dungeons or no all main quests speedruns, submitted yet on speedrun.com, but they're all any percent, and it's changing really, really fast and going for unbelievable speeds already.
Which I know usually the first couple months of a game releasing, the times are always going to be huge fluctuating. It's whenever you hit about that year mark is when times start getting gapped in between before somebody beats it again.
Right.
But the fact that you think sub 1 hour is quicker than what most people can even make it off the island to get to even get off the Sky Island in the first place.
Took me like 3 hours.
Yeah, mine was about 3 hours. So they're literally triple as fast beating the game than what I was to get off the island in the first place.
But to be fair, I wasn't trying to rush. I was exploring, but I think even if I was trying to rush, it would still take me over an hour.
Oh, yeah. And you think it's not no basic duplication glitch either. It's a bunch of different misplacement glitches, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the vehicles definitely probably help out with speed this year and everything else. Because I'm sure those zone out devices are used pretty heavily in the
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
speedrun portion. Because I know Nintendo was smart and they took out the whistle run, which was the major thing in Breath of the Wild, because you could run full speed while whistling and not lose any stamina in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But they took it away and they patched a few other speedrunning mechanics that everyone was breaking the game with in Breath of the Wild. But obviously, people have already found ways around and how to manipulate the game how they want to get as fast as they can with it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's not going to be the same as Breath of the Wild. They are two different games, so they're going to have to find new ways to speedrun it, and they have so far, and they'll just continue to find more and more as the years go on. Because I mean, like I mentioned, Super Mario Sunshine, people are still finding new glitches and to get faster to this day, and changes. Times are changing. Sometimes day by day, if not, then at least by every few weeks, somebody else is on top on Super Mario Sunshine. So, and it released 21 years ago. So, Tears of the Kingdom being this new, it's gonna change a lot here in the next. I mean, at least 6 months. Maybe it'll slow down by then, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it, because really there's not really too many games out there, which, loosely speaking, but you think the original Super Mario Bros. You think of that game whenever you think of speed running, because what I think the record is 452, somewhere close to that ballpark,
Yeah.
and I think that's a tool assisted. So that's going, and those records with the tool assisted is pretty much it's impossible to go any faster.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting to see if anyone can actually hit that 1 extra second time frame, because that's a
Right.
game that's pretty much at a standstill. But it's been out for 37 years now, 38.
Yeah. 86
what?
or 85? 85. 86
I
was Zelda,
want to,
right?
yeah, because 85, because 2020 was their 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it would be 38 now, or whenever it would release. 2023 is going to be the 38th year. It's just what date it falls on.
Yeah.
You think after 38 years, yeah, that game's pretty much done for. But Breath of the Wild is a whole lot more. Tears of the Kingdom is a whole lot more complex than that. So
Oh yeah.
there's going to be more different variations of what they can do to manipulate the game, opposed to what you could on a basic 8-bit system.
Right. I mean, yeah, the original Super Mario Brothers is pretty much at a standstill, but I'd say there's always going to be someone that can do glitches or mash the buttons just a little bit faster than the last guy. Like maybe it's just a second or maybe a millisecond faster, but it's still enough to break that record, and eventually it will happen. but not by much. It's not going to be like extraordinary difference. Like it's going to be a 2-minute run or anything like that. But there's always somebody out there.
Yeah. But these Tears of the Kingdoms are already having 2 3-minute gaps in between first place from what the previous one was.
Yeah, but I mean, between first and second here, it's just a little over. I mean, it's 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
in the
crazy.
speedrunning community, that is a lot of time.
It
Since
is.
the game's so new, it's not really that.
Where in the speedrunning community, it is a lot of time, but like you said, where it is so new, it's not really that big of a deal because they can always just. I mean, there's different ways of doing it, so there's new glitches coming out every single day to do it faster, and then just learning the glitch better so you'll do it faster. It's it's ever changing every single day.
In that community is you'll figure out what that person does, then you'll try to beat their glitch a little bit quicker.
Right. You always watch the competition, see what they're doing different than you that's faster. So, you learn their technique and then, you do it. It's just you're always watching your competitors.
Yeah, because even if you kept your own style and they just done one thing quicker than you, if you just implemented that one thing that they happen to do quicker, you're going to beat their record because you've done everything else quicker.
Right, exactly. And that's how the speedrunning community works. You just stick to what is fastest, and then if somebody does something faster, you copy what they do and then add it to your collection of faster glitches or whatever it is.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything we got for today, or at least time frame anyways. So even with episode 41 2.0, we still managed to not get for all the topics, which is a good thing because that was what I was worried about.
I wasn't worried. I knew this last one we could make it last. It's a good one. I like speedrunning.
Yeah. Well, don't forget to follow our socials: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, our merch page at Redbubble.
Yep.
Trying to think what else. I think that's about it.
Yep.
Follow Ashton's personal stuff.
Twitch, Kick, YouTube, everything. Our Discord, come chat with us. We say it every episode. Come chat with us, and that's where we're going to be posting updates at all. So, if anything ever happens, we can't record, it'll be there, and you'll know why if you join the Discord. But yeah, I think that's it.
Alrighty, later, guys.
Catch you guys next week.
We can stop HIV, Iowa.
A person living with and being treated for HIV can take 1 pill a day to protect their own health and prevent HIV from passing to sexual partners.
We call it U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmittable.
Visit stopHIViowa.org.